Well, I know I said I wasn't going to buy another one, but I couldn't pass this one up either. This is a 1998 Honda GL1500. I think it's the SE model. Pretty decent bike. It's got like some cracked plastics and some wires ran everywhere, but it actually runs. Picked it up from a guy who put it on the webs that a friend of mine knows, and was able to score on it. He wanted it repaired, but then he said, I might just make you a deal on it, because he bought 2 other bikes. So here it is. It does run. It needs an alternator, what I was told, and he has like a whole bunch of wires. It's the SE model, so that's the good one. But he's got a whole bunch of wires ran over here, and I believe that's the reason why I won't run. I mean, I won't charge the battery, because some of the solenoid wires are missing, and he's actually cranking it using these jumper wires. So, not a bad bike. It can use some tender loving care. He put some speakers. I really hate he cut the holes in these bags, put these 6x9s in there. That was stupid. I would at least did this, not this. But it's got 99,000 miles on it, or 90,000 miles on it. I think he said that it had a radio here. He took that out, and you see there's a whole bunch of wires. It's got this add-on volt gauge. Is that? Yeah. Is that 90,000 miles? Or 9,000 miles? My fault. 9,000 miles. But she needs some tender loving care, rip seat. Something's missing here. I think some speakers go here. So that's missing, I think. It's got the air suspension. It works. I actually rode the bike. It rides pretty good. Could use some back brakes, but it's not charging. CB like all Goldwings, and it's got reverse. That's a plus. So, and it's got some LED lights all the way around it. But anyway, like I say, it's a decent bike. Just need to be gone through, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go through it. I've already ordered an alternator for it, and I'm gonna straighten out a lot of these wires. What is that? See, just little stupid stuff. Tape, zip ties, wrong screws. This is broke. Just hanging on. But pretty decent old rig. So I'm gonna see what the deal's gonna be on it. He said he's gonna make me a deal on it. He wanted it gone because he bought 2 more bikes for him and his wife. So it's got the long antennas. So anyway, I'm gonna get this thing unloaded. So anyway, get this thing unloaded off the trailer, get it inside the garage, and we'll go through it and see if we can get it charging and back on the road. Well, that tire looks, I don't know if he put too much air in it. Look at that. It's all Humpty Dump. It's just little stupid stuff you find, you know. But we'll get it inside. So here is the GL1500. This is a 1990 model Goldwing 1500. Picked this thing up fairly cheap, and it's got a lot of electrical issues going on. So the guy that had it, he said that it needed an alternator, but if you look at all the wiring going to the the starter solenoid, it's all jacked up. It's missing 2 wires. He was jumping it off by running a hot wire from the fuse box over to the hot side of the battery, and he's got another wire coming off the solenoid going to the battery. It's just a hot mess. Once you tap these 2 wires together, I mean, they will just melt your fingers. But it does run. I tried to crank it earlier, but I think the battery's down, and plus this is not a good way to crank up a motorcycle, just tying some wires together. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna look on one of the old Goldwings I got, figure out this wiring, what's missing. It might be different on this one. Try and figure out what wires goes where, because it won't even start with the key. I mean with the push button. You can turn the switch on and you got nothing unless you touch that wire here. I think you touch it to there. So you do that, then you got lights. It's got LED lights on it too. I mean, this thing is just a wiring mess. So he was wanting $900 for it in the beginning, and the post said bike ran but need an alternator. But at the time he took the pictures, it didn't have these massive holes cut for 6x9 speakers. It's like he took a picture of the bike when he very first got it. So anyway, I head down there, me and a friend of mine. We get down there, and this thing didn't look nothing like the pictures. So they had to be when he first got it. And then it had all these wires. I mean, he didn't ever show this part, but he cut all this out and he had some radio in there. Just look at that. It's got a volt gauge. It shows the voltage of the battery. Oh, you can't see that on camera. It says 9.6 volts. But if you hit the start button, it just blink. You don't even hear the solenoid. So something he's got screwed up on the wiring over there. I'm gonna have to figure it out. I did ride it down the street. It rode pretty good. The front tire was on flat. The air suspension worked. He showed me that. This thing's got reverse. And how that work is, I think you just flip it up and you hold the start button because it has reverse on it. Don't give it any gas, and just it'll guide itself back. So I'm gonna get started by straightening these wires out on the solenoid. Try and get this thing where it turns over with the start button. Get rid of all this jerry-rig stuff. It has a remote for the lights. I just seen something blink. Oh, there it is. It's got LED lights on it. I think it's only got it on the back. No. It's got it on the front too. Up under there. One side's not working. So, got it down here up under the foot peg. So it probably doesn't need an alternator. I got one for it. I bought one just in case. So got it over here. Yeah. So like I said, it probably don't even need an alternator anyway. It's probably because he's got all these wires rigged up to where nothing works. I mean, so I'm gonna go ahead, get the seat off, and get to digging into the solenoid wires, see if I can get them hooked up right, and get it cranked up. Hopefully it's not nothing major, just something he just don't have. I think the plug, you know, these plugs on these solenoids, they're bad about breaking and the wires coming out. You can always put connectors on them, but you have to remember where they go. So it don't have a plug, it's just a couple wires stabbed into it. So I think that's what the issue is. So let's see if we can get this seat off. I think it's just sitting on there. Should come right off there. Because it wasn't never bolted down. It's got these armrests. Let's move the camera back some. We'll knock it down. It's a big seat too. King and queen seat. Alright, so seat's off. Look at this. This is the transformer for the LED lights. He's got it in a Ziploc bag. There's fusible links all over the place. I mean, it's just wire central right here. This is crazy. So I'm gonna hook this battery so it won't short out nothing. So he said he rode this bike to Panama City, I think. Panama, Florida, is that what it is? To a bike roundup. And this was last year. And he said he got home and stopped charging. Huh. Why is these lights on again? I just unhooked the wire, that's all I did. Alright. Might as well bring y'all in close if I can. It's kind of hard to get down in there though. See the wires here. Now this wire here, has to be the starter wire. Cause you got a red and white, a red, a green. That's what I'm looking for. That goes to the fuse box. I mean, instead of fusible links, he just got wires in the fusible links. This bike is just ready to catch on fire any minute. Like here's a wire here coming out of the harness. I bet you that goes to the solenoid. There's two wires here. I have no idea where they go. Hopefully they don't go nowhere major. It's gonna take some time. Because these wires are different. I can tell you now they're a different color. than the older Goldwings. So I'm thinking, where's that wire going? This is ridiculous. So he's got two wires wired in with the solenoid. So basically he was just taking these two wires and tapping them together. This black wire is coming from the fuse box on the other side. So that'll be your accessories. This will be your start. And he just got these jumped into the solenoid. So we need to get those off of there. Let me get a ratchet. Makes no sense. I mean, I know sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, but you know, there's a right way and there's a wrong way. So there's a wire here. Oh, that's going to the LED lights. It's supposed to be 4 wires on the solenoid. I only see 2. It's like a brand new solenoid. He got that. Going into the solenoid? Where's that going? I can't. Let's just unhook all this mess. Oh, he's got it up under the battery cable. It's on the top. It looks like it's melted on it. And so the surprising thing is, all the older Goldwings I had, except for that one, the wiring is kind of screwed up. They wasn't this bad as far as wiring. Probably hear the dryer in the background. Laundry day. So I'm gonna hook this solenoid back up right, and I'm gonna have to get online and see what wires go where, because I don't know what he's got going. But I want to get rid of those hot wires before they arc on something. We got wires. These right here are solenoid wires. This look like it might be one, but he's got a piece of speaker wire on it. supposed to be 4. I'm thinking the other one is ground. And then you got these 2 wires here. So I'm gonna get online and see where these wires go, and then try to hook this thing up right, because this is just ridiculous. So now I was able to find somewhat of a wire diagram for the starter solenoid, and I got to where you can turn the key on and off now without having to run a wire from the fuse box. I don't know if you can see the lights coming on or not. Kind of got the... Anyway, so now I'm trying to figure out, we're only getting clickage from the relay, not the solenoid. The battery is constantly dropping. I'm gonna have to charge this battery up. Man, that wire's hot. Still got clickage. But it's got another wire here. I don't know where it goes. It's not in gear, but the battery is just dead. So I'm gonna have to let this battery charge up. While I'm letting it charge up, I'm gonna keep looking for a wire diagram for the solenoid. But I know one of the wires is definitely your power source that makes the solenoid pull in, and then you got your main battery power that's putting voltage from the solenoid to the bike. So I just got to figure out, why is it not pulling that solenoid in? So I'm gonna let this battery charge up, and it might be because the battery's dead too. Well, good news. I was playing around with these solenoid wires. That didn't work. So I took this solenoid that he had on there off. I mean, it's completely melted in there. I don't know if you can see that. It's got so hot. But now I got it where it run, and it only run if you hold the throttle. Cuts off. It might be because we only got 10 volts, so maybe the alternator is bad. That won't turn it on. It only starts when you let off the starter. When I hit the gas, let's put my motor charging. We got 11.46, so it ain't charging. That could be a fuse, but it could be the alternator. Like I say, I got one. But at least we got it where to crank by the start button now. Kind of slow starting. I believe because of the battery volts. So with that. Starter sounds healthy. We got it where it starts by the key, so, well, by the start button, so that's good. So the fuse box is on the other side. I'm gonna go over there and check some fuses. Maybe we can see why the dash is not working, the gas gauge and the temperature gauge. Man, those fumes. So it's a combination of solenoid and then that one wire, the brown and black wire, brown and red wire, supposed to go to the solenoid. Well, he had a piece of speaker wire on it, and that won't work nothing. So let's move over here to the fuse box. It's kind of dark over here. Fuse box is right here. Woo! What is this heat? Coming out the exhaust down there. I don't know what that was. Can I get some better light? Okay, got a better light. That must be for those LEDs. Got a lot of wind blowing. We got supposed to start raining, of course. So let's check these fuses and just see what's all. That one's hot. That one you can't even poke in. That one's hot. Hot. The ones that's not lit up probably only energizes when the bike is running. Oh, we got a blow one here. It's a 15. Where is it? Doesn't look bad. Can't get no juice though. Oh, I heard something click. Just dirty. This one here is questionable. Well, I pulled it out and all the lights went out. That was for the running lights, the tail lights in the back. So all the fuses are good. I'm gonna crank it up and see does the dash work. Gauge is working. The clock and the RPM gauge is working. Might be because the alternator is trash. cut it off. It is running really rich. I bet you because it's not charging, and it's got the sensors and stuff having low voltage. But that looks like a new alternator. The one is this right here. Why has he got that rigged up? What is that? Look like this is supposed to plug into here. That's probably why it ain't charging. Don't hurt to try it. Possibly could have the wrong alternator on it. I have to get the new alternator I ordered, bring it out here and compare them. But this should be positive here, because that turns the regulator on inside the alternator. And yeah, that looks like a brand new alternator. Fairly new. Got a plug going to the top of it. That's been hot. More zip ties. I have to do some investigating on this. Alternator. It's only got one hot wire going to it. So anyway, I'll get the other alternator out and we'll compare them. Maybe that alternator is bad. So I got the alternator out of the bike and I took it over to the alternator rebuild place to get it tested, and they said that they couldn't test it because it has this funny made pulley on here for the Goldwings, and he said he will have to somehow get that off to put a pulley on there that holds a belt so they can put it in the machine to test it. So this alternator looks fairly new, like someone just put it on there not too long ago. It's not the factory one. I don't believe there's a name on it. There's no name on it. Anyway, it comes right out of here. This they had rigged to the voltage gauge up there, and the only thing it's got is these little rubber. They're like rubber pieces that go inside of, I guess you call that the flywheel. I don't know what you call that, but trying to get a good view of it. But anyway, it goes in there, and this sits between little rubber bumpers, so they ride like that, and it's 4 sets, I think. Let's get some light up there. Light on my camera died. Yeah, it's 4 sets of them. They sit in a hole, then the alternator goes in between them. Looks like there's oil in there too. So that's what turns the alternator. The alternator is real easy to get out on these. I don't know why they didn't do all the Goldwings like that, where you can get the alternator out. They found that out through the years. But anyway, I just said I'm just going to go ahead and put the new one in. I was going to try and wait before I put the new one in, because if there wasn't nothing wrong with that one, I was going to send it back. But here's a brand new one. I think it's a 90 amp. I'll just go ahead and stick it in there. And they're identical alternators. Actually, they're the same alternator. Look at that. They're the same identical. Got the, oop. It's got 90. Well, that's a 90 amp too. So they're both the same alternator. So I'm wondering, did he already replace it and that it's not charging? Look at that same part number. Now we getting the telltale. Except that one's this one's a Pt.1. This one is a Pt.20 L1. 90 volts, 90 amps I mean. Same alternator. So I believe he already swapped it and found out it wasn't charging. So it could be the voltage regulator. I don't know where it is. Have to find that out. But yeah, this alternator here looks, I mean, it looks like it ain't been on there for a long time. So now I'm wondering, should I put the new alternator on there anyway? Or do I look for the voltage regulator? I checked the fuses. There wasn't any blown fuse, unless there's a blown fuse inline. But I'm going to do some double checking before I stick that new one, because I can always send that back to Amazon. Same identical alternators. I knew this was a aftermarket one, because as I looked at some videos, all the factory ones that came out had a green paint, had green paint going around here, where this is black. So I'm going to do some more investigating on if it's the voltage regulator or inline fuse is keeping it from. Well, it had thing about it, it had power. I think it had power at this wire here. I don't know. I'm gonna do some checking though. We'll see what happens. Well, after installing the new alternator, it is charging now. Lights are nice and bright. And we got 14 volts. So it actually was the alternator. Either he shorted it out, wiring all this stuff up, or that cheap alternator you get off of Amazon just took a crap. So now I got to straighten out all these wires he's got ran for all the lights and all that crap, and then I got to straighten out the solenoid. Also, I took those wires that he had as a fuse. I went to AutoZone. We got a 50 amp fuse. It's supposed to have a 55, but I put a 50 amp. That's the biggest one they had. So yeah, she's charging now. But I still don't have a temperature gauge and a gas gauge. For some reason, I don't know if it's got something to do with these wires you got in here or what. But yeah, she's running now. Got turn signals. One side, I think. Yeah, that's that side. That's the other side. Sounds good too. He might have shorted that alternator out. Wiring up all this stuff. Should have hazards. Feel like only one of the bulbs up there is working. Huh. With the hazard lights on, only one side's working. Oh, there it is. It just started working. There we go. This bike's weird. Everything's waking up. CV works. Man, that thing sounds good too. High beam, low beam. It's got the air suspension. Can't even hear it. So, all but the temperature and gas gauge, it's not working. So, see if we can restart. Oh yeah. Next we need to check the oil in it. I never checked the oil. That's bad. Put the little side cover back on. So I'm gonna try and see why the gas gauge is not working and the temperature gauge. I checked the fuses, they were good. So I'm gonna, what is that? Well, that was a little noise. But yeah, I'm gonna straighten out the starter solenoid stuff. These two wires here, I don't know what they're for. They were wired in. I'm scared to wire up anything because it might short that alternator out. But at least I didn't have to buy a battery. That's a brand new battery. dual ass, so they came from AutoZone. I don't know what that noise is. Don't care, as long as it's charging. So anyway, I'm gonna try and see can I fix this temp gauge, battery gauge. Got to be some relays or something funny, and really need to get that going because I don't know how much gas in it. I can't get the top loose to look in the gas tank, and I really need to see about that temperature and check the coolant and the oil. And I don't know what that noise is. I don't care. Clutch is kind of grabby on it. Don't want to disengage all the way. See what it go in reverse. Other than the clutch, not disengaged. It's a pretty cool old bike. So I took it for a stroll around the block tonight. It runs pretty good. The clutch is kind of grabby on it. I think it's going to need to be bled. I seen where he's got the clutch reservoir handle rigged up with some screws and a hose clamp, so it might have air in the system. But other than that, it runs real good. It's got good power. I did change the oil. This front tire is trash. It's got a hump in it, as you can see right here. This tire is no good. It's a 130/70/18. So it's got a couple of humps in it. Looks like it's about to pop. I can feel it while I'm riding down the road. It's kind of lumpy a little bit when you come to a stop. It needs some back brakes. They stop, but the pedal's kind of all the way down. Might just need to adjust the pedal up. But all the LED lights work except for some of them. Like I say, I was unable to get the gas gauge and the temperature gauge to work. I'm thinking it's in the gauge cluster. I did a lot of research, a lot of wire checking, and I'm really thinking it's in the gauge cluster. But like I say, it does run good. I ordered another one of these trunks since he cut a hole up here. I mean, that was kind of overkill. He could have just at least cut the bottom sides and put speakers in there instead of cutting this. But I found one. It's kind of a gold color. That's the only one I can find that was close to match a little bit, since this is silver and it's got a little gray or something. But just the trunk part, so I'm gonna replace that, and that won't look too bad. I don't know why he cut that. Just two speakers will do good. but then he kept the doggone speakers. But satin cover's about to pop off. Oh, everything's falling off. Man, everything on it is velcroed and zip tied. But like I say, it does run pretty decent. It's charging now. Should fire right up. Oh. Like I said, it's going to take a little tender love and care with it, get everything back right. The main concern is the gas gauge and the temperature gauge. I mean, the gas, you can look down in the tank, see how much gas you got until it gets really, really low. But the temperature gauge, that's the scary part. Like I say, the fans does work. So I got the remote for the lights. The battery's good. See if I can turn it off. Yeah, the battery's good or something. But a little cleanup, fix the panels that's about to fall off, and fix this radio issue up here. These radios are expensive too. Sound like a car running. But these radios for these things are not cheap. I mean, a factory cassette radio, you're looking at probably close to $200 to almost $300 shipping and all. I've been trying to find a pretty decent cheap one. A lot of them, they say they don't even work, so you're just buying something that don't work, but all the plugs are cut anyway. And this goes into the main harness. One guy tried to tell me it's a separate harness. I think not. When I had all the covers off, I can see that this harness here is going to the main harness. Unless you can disconnect it somewhere. I didn't see it, but the guy cut that out. This is actually the original radio casing, and he just cut it and gutted it. But probably can make a radio. I did see one on, a guy had one of these bikes on Marketplace where he had a big flat screen radio in there, I guess. Kind of looks like an iPad, but it's just something to fill this hole. But anyway, that's gonna be it right now on the Goldwing. I'm gonna play around with it a little bit more, try and get it road worthy more, because that front tire with that knot, you probably can see it good from here. That knot right there, that's gonna pop anytime, and I don't want to be riding this thing and that tire blow out, because that'll be real ugly. So if I don't decide to sell it, I'll go ahead and fix that front tire. But it's not a bad bike. It's got 90,000 miles on it. I mean, it needs the seat repaired. The little covers that go here. So we got the fire department out. Little covers that go here are missing. So I had to wait on the fire department to clear out. They came flying down the street. Anyway, like I was saying, it's missing those covers back here. I guess they're compartments or something. I haven't really did any research on them. What is this for? CB or something? I guess it's for the CB. But it's a 25-year-old bike. I mean, it's been rode and abused a little bit. So what you expect? I mean, it's not a bike that's been sitting in the garage for the last 20 years. Maybe some older person rode it around the block and put it back up. But the good thing about it, it's got a clear open title, and it does run, and it looks fairly decent. So anyway, that's gonna be it for right now with the Goldwing 1500. Hope y'all gonna enjoy y'all weekend. Like I say, today is Friday, so hope your Saturday and Sunday be great. And if I do anything more with this machine here, y'all be the first to know. So like I always say, hit that like button, notification button, share, and leave those comments, and who knows what I come up with next. But this thing's not gone just yet. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it just yet. I still got the Pacific Coast, been riding it a little bit, so I don't know. So alright, so holler at y'all later, and that's it. So peace.